The campus speech was abruptly attacked by thugs, shocking the audience as an intense neck blow occurred. Sudden shooting, the audience lost its voice. At the campus activity of Utah University's American Revival Tour, Charlie Kirk, a conservative opinion leader and founder of Training Point USA, was shot from a long distance while interacting with students, and his neck fell to the ground. The scene was once chaotic. The police responded quickly with first aid, and the school blocked the school gate urgently. At present, the case is still being updated. Before the video starts, please subscribe to us for likes and retweets. Press coverage. The timeline completely reviews the location and scene of the incident. At noon, under the activity tent set up in the Soren Center courtyard of UVU campus, Kirk is doing interactive QA with students in front of the stage. The crowds at the scene are dense and the city is open. Suddenly a gunshot rang out, Kirk fell to the ground and the surrounding audience exclaimed and scattered to avoid danger. Security and medical care quickly stepped forward to deal with it. Campus response and preliminary disposal. The school issued a timely alarm, requiring all activities on campus to be stopped and the surrounding teaching buildings to be temporarily closed. The police, special police and K9 set up guards inside and outside the campus, carried out a dragnet search and checked the visual commanding heights. The suspect's misunderstanding was corrected. A white-haired man at the scene was once taken away to cooperate with the investigation, causing emotional swings among onlookers. Later, the police clarified that the man had no direct relationship with the shooting behavior. Because other behaviors were dealt with separately, there was no evidence that there was a suspected shooting position of the second gunman. According to the monitoring clues and the ballistic direction of the scene, the public security department focused on checking a high-level viewpoint on the roof to judge that it was closer to long-distance fixed-point shooting. Injury and transportation too can be transported to the hospital for emergency treatment after initial hemostasis by on-site medical care. The details of the injury have not been fully disclosed to the public. The organizers and their families appeal to the public to pay rational attention and wait for official medical treatment. Informing public opinion and political reflection, many politicians and university representatives expressed concern about this and stressed their opposition to all forms of political violence. Public speeches have been held on campus many times before, which not only has a large number of fans but also often leads to heated debates. Before this UV war activity, there were two-way signatures and public opinion pulling in favor and opposition on the internet. Why does in-depth analysis happen? First, the structural risk of the target person plus the opening space. CarX is a moving, iconic figure of conservative youth with high exposure and sharp alien. Campus speeches are mostly opening spaces, and it is difficult to prevent and control the surrounding high points and long-distance views. If the attacker steps on the spot in advance and uses the straight-line view of the roof or high window to launch a single long-range attack, it may have fatal consequences. This method of committing crimes has low cost, short exposure, and strong impact. It poses a realistic challenge to open public activities. Second, the symbolic blow under polarized narrative. When the public integration is highly polarized, some extreme individuals may regard attacking public figures as a punishment or statement to a certain political camp. This kind of humanized narrative and label of friend and enemy will push the conflict from the dispute of opinion to personal injury. No matter what the suspect's ultimate motive is, such cases reinforce each other with the overall background of social tearing, forming dangerous symbolic violence. Third, low-density security check increases the collision of sensitive people. Efficiently attach importance to openness and tolerance, and always report a cautious attitude towards metal detection or fully sealed security inspections. It is useless to increase the controversy risk level of event guests. Routine security inspections are often difficult to cover the roof and the long distance, which is an inclined plane. Once a successful case occurs, it may also induce an imitation effect, and others copy the long-distance single-shot quick withdrawal mode, bringing continuous risks to subsequent public activities. Fourth, the depth of on-site vigilance is not enough for the opening. For activities with lawns or atriums as the core, security often focuses on close-range threats, but in-depth risk control for long-distance urban areas is often insufficient, and there is a lack of early clearing, dynamic staying, and optical observation for high-level areas. It is easy to be attacked from a long distance beyond the security line. If the warhead or residual traces can be found using the investigation direction and key evidence trajectory and warhead, the caliber and gun shape can be inferred and possible sources can be compared. But the landing point and incident angle can be reversed to push the shooting axis. The video traces back the surveillance and social camera before and after the series activity and reconstructs the possible video path, roof stay period, and evacuation route of the suspect. Digital forensics investigates cyber threats, private emails, and geofencing information before activities. Pay attention to whether there are prior oaths, countdown remarks, or tricks. Motivation judgments focus on ideological extremism, private resentment, attention-seeking, and the possibility of collusion. Legal consequences once the suspect is locked. In addition to felonies such as murder and attempted murder, if it touches political violence or terrorist threats, the sentencing will be significantly aggravated. The most efficient review list with the activist party. 1. Site selection and event planning. Try to avoid straight-line warnings of being mobbed and cut by surrounding roofs. Change the speech layout if necessary. 2. Empty the high windows on the roof before high-level emptying and left-behind activities. Arrange left-behind observation during critical periods and set up temporary closures if necessary. 3. Security inspection layering. Set layered security inspections according to the dispute degree of guests and implement stricter screening of personnel and articles in core areas. Ensure quick peripheral traffic flow to lessen congestion and frustrations. 4. Red team deduction. Security or a third party performs imaginary gunman deduction, draws a ballistic fan shape, corrects the evacuation route and rescue channel, and ensures that once an injury occurs, the transfer can be completed within golden minutes. 5. The equipment is expected to monitor threatening keywords and abnormal accounts before the event. Once specific threats appear, immediately upgrade the security level or adjust the activity format. To what extent can rational discussion and public persuasion at the public level start? When the opposition escalates, should the offline activities of highly controversial figures be turned semi-closed or online? How to balance open campus and personal safety. Security inspection is not a chilling cicada. Is event-based security based on risk differences a more feasible and pragmatic path? The responsibility boundary between media and social media should avoid heroic violence tutorial details and make a scale between complete reporting and preventing imitation. Finally, this suspected long-distance, single-shot and well-targeted shooting once again brought the safety of campus public activities to the forefront. Which link are you most concerned about? Security methods, political polarization, or campus governance? Talk about your opinion in the comment section. We will continue to pay attention to the follow-up progress of the medical situation, suspect lock-in, and motive judgment, and will also have authoritative updates to follow up immediately. Like us, please subscribe to us, like and retweet.